Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me is Josh McElhaney, and we're sitting here with the one and only Coach Russell, head varsity coach of the Grace Cougars football team. And so we're glad that he took some time. Thank you, Coach.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate your time for sure. So we want to just dive in and talk a little bit about last week's game. Last week was week 1. And then we'll spend a little bit of time looking ahead to next week. And just, guys, we're going to do this every week through the duration of football season. And so you'll be able to look forward to these coming out each week. But, Coach, first thing that we kind of wanted to talk to you about and just ask you, last week's game was a game that was on the road. And so what were your key takeaways with it being a road game, also the season opener, the environment that everything was in? Just what was your takeaways on the team?
Well, every year you have a different team, regardless of what happens. Even if it's the same team, it's different guys a year later or whatever. And so, the way you handle traveling, of course, our scrimmages were on the road this year too. So we had a little bit of an idea, but it was a really good environment for our guys. That we have a younger team that's filled up with guys that are maybe young, grade level wise, but very mature. I thought they did a really good job of handling those situations. Traveling was a pretty good distance getting up there, and first game, and also just things like playing on grass and playing in that environment where everything was so intense. Because Queen City is a really good team. They have a lot coming back, and I think they had all 11 guys back from last year on defense, a lot of experience, and they were pretty good last year, especially early, and they did a good job. They were a good test for us. But I was glad the ebbs and flows of the game. You like to go into every game playing perfect and knowing that you're not going to, especially for a first game, and we didn't. But all the adversity and things that we didn't do well, we came back and didn't let things bother us. So I was really pleased with this time of the season that we were very even keeled, and didn't let the bad things linger with us. And also we made some good plays, and we didn't let them stay with us. We truly took it one play at a time, which every coach preaches that. Right. But to really get that instilled in the kids is difficult. But overall, I think our kids have responded and did a good job, especially to get the win on the first game. Half the teams in the state were 0-1, and the other half 1-0, and we're glad to be a part of the group that's 1-0.
Absolutely. So, and Josh and I were talking. I think we even talked about it on the broadcast that night. But just how you can practice all you want, you can have scrimmages, you can do all these things, but nothing truly replicates game time speed. And so, you're going to have some of those. You're still working some things out in week 1, but all in all, great performance. Josh, we were talking about that pick 6, the throw to the sideline, and I asked him what we had been talking about with the pitch.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Talk about that. We kind of had a little conversation about that.
Just walking onto the field, you can see the pitch, and I understand rainwater. And I grew up in Pittsburgh. We didn't have turf when I was in high school because I don't even think turf was an option back then.
Dating ourselves. There we go.
And we had that same pitch on our football field, and it does make a difference. When you're standing on the middle of the field and you throw it straight, somebody's down on the sideline.
It does. It's one of those things where you don't want to make too much of it because you don't want them to be thinking about it, but you do need to replicate that as best as you can, and it's hard to do that till you actually get there. Because you don't play on that many grass fields, and every grass field has a different pitch, in a different area, and we didn't know going into the game how wet it would be, but it actually wasn't as wet as we thought it might be going in. But they definitely had a pitch, and it's kind of funny that y'all noticed that, because that just shows a lot of perception on y'all's part, before the game. That's actually something we talked about before the game. So, I guess the coach and player came out and y'all too.
Yeah. Well, we walked down on the track, and when I walked down the track and I looked across the field, I said, Josh. Because, I've seen pitches. I remember what Jefferson's field, because that was where, we scrimmaged there. I can remember Jefferson when it was still a grass field, and they had a very intense pitch there.
Yes, we played there. Well, I played there when that pitch was there, and it awful on the sideline. The water just gathered on the sidelines, and the pitch, you couldn't hardly see the sidelines from the sidelines. And even Friday night, the officials commented on it because they were off the sidelines so they could see the other official a lot better. Because
that's why they missed some calls. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that's why I like to blame it on.
Oh man, that's awesome. So, were there any just standout moments or standout players from Friday night that just impressed you in the first game of the season?
Oh, there really was a lot of things. Of course, we had some guys, and we're giving out an award this year. Never done that before. I'm not too big on giving out individual awards, but there's a company that said that we're picking a player of the game, and I just couldn't pick one. Got me. I also don't like to dilute awards, and Cole Stanley and Andrew Gardner. They hardly ever came off the field and made some huge plays for us when they were. They were tired and cramping and all that, and our offensive line was physically, Queen City had a really strong defensive line, and they were all returning, and they came back, and our offensive line guys, they played their best game. I think it was their best performance, whether it be practice or a game, and so all those things. We had a lot of really great performances. Slade. For his first varsity game, picking up first down when he had to run over a guy. BA made some big plays, and Doak had a big interception and lots of plays. There was as a coach, you nitpick things, and the farther the game gets away from you, you get to evaluate it a little more, and then right after the game is over, you think the game went one way, and then you grade the video, and it's actually either worse or better. And I think this was one of those games that was better after we watched the video because our performance, even when we got tired, we were executing things well. And when things didn't happen well, it was mainly because Queen City executed well, which I tell the coaches and the kids all the time, I like good football. And so if it just so happens that they make a play on us and we're doing our job, I want us to be beaten because they had a guy that was better than our guy and they beat us. Like when we threw the touchdown pass to Cole and he reached over their guy, their corner had great coverage on Cole in the corner, and Slade placed the ball right there in the corner, and Cole jumped up and reached over his head and caught it, and that was a great football play because they didn't bust the coverage. We had to make a great throw, we had to make a great catch, and that was good football. And at this time of the year to have good football plays was, that was definitely one of the highlights, I would say, of the game in general. So, calling out individuals, Cole, and like I said, Cole and Andrew. Andrew made so many tackles and had the interception.
We called his name all night long.
Well, the only thing is, I'm like, can he not get one more yard? He's one of those linebackers. It's like he's looking guys up even when he's on offense. I said, hey, when you're on offense, you can kind of avoid that guy and get in the end zone. But he turned it up and tried to run over that guy. Yeah. But they made some big plays. Not just making big plays on the field, just the fact that there's a lot of stability with experienced guys that are continuing to make the correct calls and do the right thing and kind of, organize and rejuvenate the other players on the field. And they did a really good job of that.
Yes, sir. And Josh, what was I think I already know where you're going to go. What was your favorite play tonight?
Well, as a fan calling the game, we could feel the momentum shift back and forth.
Yeah.
And as Queen City started to make their run, started to get back into that ball game, that 50-yard touchdown by Cole, that one got me really excited. That was, I guess, just the time, the stakes for him. And then once he hit that corner, that track speed came out, and there was nobody going to catch him.
Yeah.
That was just a fun moment. Trying to call the game in a professional manner, but also being a fan. that was probably my highlight. And Gardner, he's got a nickname already. He's the gardener. He can plant people. He digs in and calling his name all night. But to me, that was my favorite play.
Yeah, that's mine too. That when he broke free down the sideline.
Although we do have a clip of BA's juke move on the sideline.
Yes,
that was he's got some things you can't coach. He's big, strong, fast, got good hands, but he's also got really deceptive moves.
Yeah, very nimble.
And he made a couple of really athletic guys miss in space. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
when you go back over that.
Yeah,
and then Cole's play was great. We ran the exact same play right before that, but Cole was being really tough and staying in bounds and wanting to get the first down, and we'd seen where Queen City kind of punched up in there and said, hey, we're going to run it again this time, bounce it outside, but it was to the boundary, which is the short side, so I was just hoping for a first down, and then he turned on the Jets, and I'd like to say that I was all excited like everybody else, but I was more relieved. I was like, whew, man. And when he took off and he got ahead of that guy, I'm like, hey, not catching him. And because he's got some Jets, and I was proud for him and proud for the team, and everybody on the sidelines was really into the game, in moments when, it was tough, but that was, I can see what you picked out as the play of the game. That pretty much sealed it. That was the thing that sealed it.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Talking about the couple of clips we've got at BA. It was over there on the Queen City sideline, so we're looking straight down at it. And I mean, man, that one, he was kind of angling toward the sideline. Defender's coming. He plants that foot and the defender just whiffs. I mean, it's just a thing of beauty.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure
a lot of fun.
The poor kid's like face planted on the field.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think when I was a player, I probably was the guy that got face planted myself. But having moves like that, now we just got to give him in good enough shape, get everybody in good enough shape where he can go ahead and finish that get the end zone. I'll feel even better. So that's coming. That's coming.
Absolutely.
I did get tired watching that one.
I'm tired of talking about it. So, Coach, with this game this week, week one's in the books, 1-0, great start. Now we move on to week two. You're talking about a Thursday night game this week. You're talking about the home opener. What does it do with it being a holiday on Monday and a Thursday night game this week? How does that impact your preparation?
Well, I mean, it really is different. You gotta prepare because you're not in the type of shape you need to be in early, but nobody else is either. And just getting in shape on a short week, but still have your legs under you for Thursday is kind of tricky. And then you gotta rush to get the game plan in because once you get the game plan in, we grade videos every day and see, well, this play is maybe not quite as good as we thought, or defensively, we may have a little bit, this may be a little bit better doing it this way. So you have one less day to do that, but so do they. Of course, they, playing them, they're really good. But we played them last year at their place, and they're in a smaller classification, but they're not very much smaller than us. But they're two-time defending state champions, so they know how to win. They understand that. And last year we were right there with them. We could have beaten them last year. So the kids don't look at them as they're state champions. Whoa, we just look at them. Hey, we are who we are, and let's go out and do what we do. And I like our chances if we go out and do everything as well, as long as we don't beat ourselves. They're a real fast-paced team, and they're real aggressive man-to-man. They don't change. They're where they're going to be, and you just got to beat them. And they lost last week. First game they played at 6-18. We're 5-8. They played Bishop Lynch, and they lost, I think, 55 or 54 to 48 or something like that. And ran a bunch of plays and real fast. So it's going to be an exciting game. But being on a Thursday, being at 6:30, a lot of those things are different. If you can, it's always been my my coaching persona or whatever to try to it's nice to play neutral site games or different games because when the playoffs come, you kind of your routine always gets off then anyway. So if you can get your routine off a little bit in non-district, it prepares you for that. Whether it be going to a neutral site big stadium or changing the nights when you play. So all games are crucially important, no matter what game it is. I mean, when you're playing, that is the game, and it's important. But you do have the ability to change nights and stuff like that on the non-district games. And so playing this game on Thursday night against First Baptist here, it'll be a great game. I know that anybody's a neutral fan, just come and watch this game because it'll be a very high-caliber game.
Yes, sir. So with the preparation, is there anything that you do differently in your conversations or your coaching to players as far as mentally having them mentally prepared, or do you try to kind of not make it as a big deal. Let's just business as usual. What do you do with the mind of the players?
Yeah, it's just business as usual. Because no matter what happens with us, it's also happening with them. It's how you handle it. And we always talk about, you control the controllables. Like our slogan this year is eat. Effort and attitude and toughness, and those are three things that you can control. And the game is going to be Thursday night at 6:30. Like we're going to play this game because sometimes they talk about this particular opponent, whoever it is, and they may be on the schedule week 8. I can't wait till we play them, and I'll say, hey, wait, we're playing First Baptist this week. That's what's ahead of us. That other team's on the schedule. We will play them. Let's take care of what's in front of us. And so I do more gearing them down. Let's get better ourselves because that's what's going to matter in the long run. If you put so much emphasis on winning and losing this game, then that's you're more result oriented, and I'd be really more process oriented. Let's get better, and if we lose, let's take that loss and get better from the loss. And if we win, let's don't think that we were so perfect and then sit on what we did good. We still our goal is perfection. We never reach it. But as long as we're reaching for perfection, we can get great. But if we're just reaching to be good, you make balls short, and you're not as good as you can be. So I try my best not to make it a distraction. Now, mentally as a coach, I changed it. Like we won't practice as long one day, like tomorrow because it's the day before the game and stuff like that. We'll change some of the conditioning type stuff, and when we do ice baths and things like that, we change that because of the day of the game. But for the most part, I try to keep things as even keel as I can.
Yeah,
because they'll kind of play off you. If you make a big deal out of it, it'll be a big deal. If you don't, they won't. And whether that be coaches, fans, or players.
Yeah, you talked about sometimes players are looking ahead. I can't wait till we play this team. This seems probably like it's one of those teams coming early with them being 2-time defending state champs. This seems like probably one of those games that the players had circled before the season even started, and we weren't ready to play them. Did you have to remind anybody last week, hey, we got to play Queen City first? Was there guys already trying to look ahead? Or
no? Well, if they were, I didn't catch it because we just don't. We just focus so hard on what we're doing that they don't really have a chance to look ahead.
Yeah.
Because we just stay on what we're doing. Now, they get home and eat supper with their parents. I don't know what the conversations are there,
Sure.
But as a team, because the coaches, we're of the same mindset. I mean, like we're preparing for the moment. Because, if you prepare too much, it's kind of like when, we joke around sometimes the coaches, it's like you hear the fans, if you listen to the fans long enough, you'll be up there and be one of them. It's kind of like if you start looking too far ahead, you'll miss what's right in front of you. You got to take care of it one day at a time. And I think this is a very mature group, and I think that not that they didn't when they looked at the schedule as a whole, like in the summer, not say, hey, they may look past us off First Baptist because they realize that this would be a huge win. This is one of those statement type wins. If we get it, like 2-time defending state champion, you get this win. It's a big win. And so, but really every win's a big win. But from outside looking in, this would be an opponent that would definitely catch everybody that sees its attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the first chance. We'll wrap it up with these last two things. We'll kind of combine them together. It's the first chance now for Grace fans to see the team at home this season here in week 2. What message do you have for the students, the families, and the community heading into Thursday night?
Well, I think football season, it's really special. I mean, everything's special if your child is doing it. And but football is a little different because it brings so many people together. Like if you go ask anybody in the school, how was your team? You don't have to say what sport it was. How was your team in high school? They kind of know what you're talking about, and that's the way it is in football. And I like that. I know that it means a lot, and you have lasting memories from football games when you look back and you see the fans really getting into it, and getting excited. And the kids know that they have a lot of control over a lot of people's happiness because, like y'all said, you're into the game, so much emotion, and we make the big play, and you feel really good. And we realize that you can look at that as pressure or an opportunity, and I look at it as an opportunity. And so, like as fans, when the guys are able to look and know that we had a lot of support because Because, we get out here at 6 in the morning earlier, have the lights on, nobody's out here. You're preparing, and see all your hard work come into play. And this will be the first home game, those scrimmages on the road, first game on the road, first chance to have the home crowd. And I really believe, when I was a younger coach, I didn't believe it as much, but I really believe in home field advantages when you have a home field advantage, because there's nothing more deflating than to have a home game and not have a home field advantage when the other team has a lot more than you or whatever.
Right.
And so we love to have the fans come out and cheer and really be loud and be positive. Because sometimes it's easy to get mad at the refs and mad at this call, mad at that call, but we definitely like it when you keep everything positive and focused on our guys. And, if we make a mistake, hey, the coaches made a mistake, and that's fine. The players, just keep pumping them up and seeing them. And so we hope that, Thursday night, everybody will come out and have a good time because, it's supposed to be fun. It is fun. It's what I call real hard fun.
Yeah.
And,
that's a good way to put it.
It's lasting fun.
Yeah.
Like the guys woke up after Friday night's win, and on Sunday they were still feeling that fun. They were still remembering that. So I hope the fans able to come out and enjoy it and just enjoy getting to watch and encourage the kids.
Yes, sir. Last question. What are the keys to victory Thursday?
We've got it. It is an old cliche, but it truly is that we know what they're going to do. They don't really know what we're going to do at times. But so we've got to execute. But this is one of those times where the team that makes the most mistakes and turns the ball over, I think, will lose. But I think we're a lot closer talent-wise to them than they think. And I know that we are toughness and character-wise. But if we come out and we play extremely hard and execute the whole game, it's going to be a fourth quarter game. Whoever makes the plays in the fourth quarter when they're the most tired, that's going to be the team that wins, because it's going to be an exhausting game. They go really fast on offense, and not so much who wins the first quarter, but there's 4 quarters to the game, and I think it's going to come down to who plays the best and wins the fourth quarter will be the team that wins the game.
Yes, sir. Well, Josh, obviously our job is to be in the booth and bring the action live through Grace Game Day's YouTube channel. But the first thing we want people in the seats in the stadium. Making some noise. Use us as a last resort, or wake up on Saturday morning, or in this case Friday morning, and watch us after the fact. But we don't want you to stay at home and watching us. Come out, get in the stands, and let's make some noise. Thursday night, I believe they're calling for everybody to wear Grace blue. So wear your blue. Let's turn that whole stadium blue, and let's let the visiting team know that they walked into a rowdy atmosphere. Let's make it fun. All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it, Josh.
I was going to say something before we
go
head off.
You're good.
But
good evening, everybody. Welcome to week 2 of the high school football season. We are so glad you joined us on Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me is Josh McElhaney, and we are set to bring you week 2 action as Grace takes on Dallas First Baptist Academy.
Yeah, so good to be here. Great atmosphere. First home game. Got the drum line, getting everybody excited. Anticipation in the air, ready for kickoff. Going to be a fun night of football.
It's a little warmer tonight than it was last week, Josh.
That it is. That it is.
Week 1 was a spoiler for everybody, coming in with a kickoff temperature of 74 degrees. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, it is not 74 degrees at kickoff tonight.
No, more like, 94?
Let's see, Josh, according to the Weather Channel app, it is 92 degrees, and it feels like 97.
So I was right in the middle.
I feel like it's more like it feels like 107 to me. But, hey, who's counting? So the matchup tonight, Dallas First Baptist Academy traveling here to Grace at Clyde Perkins Stadium. And the team is just about set to come out of the tunnel, and here they come. We're running a little bit behind schedule, it appears, tonight. Kickoff was supposed to be at 6:30, but the teams have not even come to midfield yet, so we're just a couple of minutes behind. But we're glad that you're joining us here on Grace Game Day, and we are very pleased to be bringing you the action tonight. Grace comes into this game, Josh, 1-0. And First Baptist Academy is 0-1. First Baptist Academy dropped their season opener last week. And, Josh, there was a lot of points that were put on the board.
Yeah. A lot of points. And unfortunately, it's always dangerous to get a team after they've suffered a loss. So we're going to hope that as we're listening to the PA here.
So we just finished the prayer with Dr. Ferguson, and now we are going to honor America with the playing of the national anthem, sang tonight by the GCS Cougar Chorale singing. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem by the GCS Cougar Chorale.
Now the captains are at the 50-yard line at the 4-goal Rogers Field.
Josh, as we were talking, First Baptist Academy lost their season opener last week, and it was a lot of points that was scored in that game. They lost that game to Bishop Lynch 62-48.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking 110 points put on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and from what we heard with Coach Russell and his coach's interview this week is that Dallas likes to play fast. They play with a lot of tempo, and so it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Grace defense to be in position, and it's going to be a great test tonight.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But we're just about ready for some football. Moments away from kickoff now, as Grace is going to look to open up with back-to-back wins to begin this season. But, Josh, this is going to be a tall order tonight. First Baptist Academy is back-to-back defending state champions, and teams don't get there and do that back-to-back. They don't do it once by being a slouch, and they certainly don't defend that title by being any kind of a weak opponent. So we're fixing to find out exactly who we're made of, what we're made of tonight.
Yeah, and that's always a fun game because early in the season, you want to challenge. You want to see where we measure up, how we stand against one of the top opponents that we're going to play this season. And it's a great test to see, just how good we actually are.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, these are the games, Josh, you want to play. As you mentioned, you want to play opponents really tough in essentially what some would refer to as the preseason. We're not to district play yet, and so you can lose these games, and they really don't hurt you because what it comes down to is your district record and district standings to determine playoffs.
Absolutely.
And so these games don't really hurt you, so it's really good to come out with a big-time test to see what you're made of. And so Grace is going to kick off to begin this game. Josiah King, and he puts his foot into it. And it's going to be taken on a leaping catch at the 2-yard line. He's up to the 10, splits the middle, and he's got some space across the 40. And I don't think anybody's going to catch him, Josh.
No, just an unfortunate way to start this game. Man, he hit the hole, and there was just no stopping him. I don't even know if anybody got a
flag
finger
on the play.
I didn't see the flag.
And it is a holding against the receiving team. So breathe a sigh of relief, and let's take points off the board.
Yeah, we'll get this stop any way we can there. Thankful for a flag. And, last week, very similar vibe. First play of the game was a long touchdown pass. Grace was able to recoup. This time, no points on the board, so the defense gets to come out and try to settle everything down.
And Josh, First Baptist does not really have a lot of film on Grace. Do you think they watched the film from last week? They were lined up. Everybody, all 10 players except for the lone returner was up within about 15 to 20 yards of the kickoff spot.
Yeah, there was quite a few of those sneaky onside kick type kicks.
And that's how Grace opened the game last week. Opened it up with an onside kick. Queen City recovered at the 48-yard line, and then that's when they had the busted coverage on that first play from scrimmage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the holding penalty they're saying was while the ball was in the air, and so the result of that ruling is that Grace is going to have a 10-yard mark up to midfield and will re-kick.
Well, at this point, I think
I want to see if he can put it through the uprights.
I was going to say, I think he's going to kick this one out of the end zone. Big, strong leg. I mean, that kick went to the, 1-yard line?
Mm-hmm.
So don't even give him a chance to run this one back.
No, we saw what Micah Foster can do for First Baptist Academy, and I quite frankly, Josh, I'm sure he's a fabulous young man. I don't want to see any more of that tonight.
Yeah, I think his last name was misspelled. I think it's Faster.
Yeah. All right, so let's try this again. Line drive kick, bounces, and it's off his fingertips. He's going to have to return that, Josh. Out to the 5, the 10, and down he goes.
Good job. Good coverage.
That leaping attempt at that, Josh, it went off his fingertips at the 2 and then went into the end zone. He had to return that out.
Yeah.
He couldn't take a touchback.
Yeah, he would have been better off letting that go, but I think the juice was still flowing from that first touchdown. He thought, I did it once, I can do it again. That time just unable to keep his footing, and it's going to be a first down at the 10-yard line. So great field position here for the Grace defense.
All right, so we're going to get the first play from scrimmage here. Shotgun snap, looks to the far sideline, high pass, and a leaping grab.
That's going to be a first down.
That's enough for a first down. Two running backs in the backfield with the quarterback here. We got motion at the line. And now the running back's going to come in motion. And we get a shotgun snap, and he's looking deep. Has to tuck it down. Pressure coming, flushes him out, throws on the run, and it's caught over on the sideline.
Yeah, pressure just unable to get there. He's able to evade the pressure, evade the rush. And it looks like, picked up another first down. So already you see the momentum, the pace at which Dallas Baptist is going.
Handoff up the middle.
And
Not a lot of running room.
That's a good job. I think one of the keys of the game today is going to be, can we control the line of scrimmage? Can we control the running game? Can we get pressure on the quarterback? At that time, they did a great job stopping the run. Brings up a second down here.
Shotgun snap. He's back with time. Throws over the middle. Intercepted.
Good position. Great job.
Josiah King in the perfect spot.
And that is how you start the game. Great job. Get a defensive stop. So after that holding call that brought back the touchdown on that opening kickoff, where it looked like Dallas First Baptist was really going to make the first punch, the defense for Grace makes a stand, gets the interception, and now this would be a great opportunity, Preston, for them to go down here and get a touchdown and put the pressure on Dallas Baptist.
Absolutely. This offense for Grace, led by freshman Slade Etheridge at quarterback. One of the key players also is Braden Alexander, as Etheridge is going to keep this one, and he's going to get nice yardage across the 45 to the 44.
Yeah, anytime you can get positive yardage on first down, get the quarterback, let him get hit, settle into the game. I like the play call there to start this game.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was mentioning, Braden Alexander, one of the key parts of this Grace offense, a sophomore running back, also very affectionately known as BA. Hard count for Etheridge. He's going to look to the sideline. Now back into the shotgun formation. Three-step drop out of the gun. Quick pass out. Caught for first down yardage. That's an all-state first down as Justice McQuay hauls it in and circles around for the yardage needed.
Sorry about that. That was a great catch. You know, last week he had a wide-open touchdown. He kind of took his eyes off the ball, looking at the end zone. It's good to see him get a catch here to start this game. Very valuable wide receiver. A lot of talent, a lot of speed. Great job picking up that first down.
Henry's going to go in motion. He's going to have three wide receivers to the right, no wide receivers to the left. Now Henry's going to come back, and it's going to be a jet sweep coming to the near sideline. He gets the corner turned at the 35-30 and taken out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
Great job. Great patience. You know, he didn't just hit the burst right off the bat. Let his blocks develop. Picks up another first down, and we are marching into plus territory.
And, Josh, I'm going to need to go back and see who that was, but somebody on the offensive line for Grace laid a vicious block to help spring that free.
Yeah, I was focused on the ball carrier. I didn't see exactly who that was, but my goodness, they just kind of created separation that really wasn't there to begin with.
Grace goes into a little bit of a semi-huddle here, and now we're going to get a timeout called. Coach Russell did not like something that he saw, and so we're going to take this timeout with them. And we'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this. Somebody.
Did you see the block?
Yeah. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. Yeah, somebody on that offensive line. I want to, let me see if I can go back and pull it here. We'll just go ahead and take a look at the replay as they're returning to the field. Oh, that was B.A. That was B.A. What a block.
That's a running back that just loves contact.
1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Etheridge. Looking to the end zone. Incomplete.
Oh.
Just out of the outstretched reach of Doak Porter.
Man. That was a beautiful play design. Just overthrew the receiver. He was wide open. He had totally beat his man.
Yeah, he had definitely pulled away there, but just not able to make that connection. Etheridge with a little bit too much muscle on that one. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10, 8:52 remaining in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Grace approaching the red zone. It's going to be a handoff to B.A. Bounces to the near sideline. He's got room inside the 20, inside the 10, and out of bounds.
And just muscling his way.
That's another all-state first down for the Cougars here on this first quarter drive.
Yeah, giving the ball to 46 is not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
What did he have last week? 200-plus yards?
He did.
On the ground?
I believe it was 23 carries, 207 yards on the ground. So, yeah, he's a good person to hand it off to. That's averaging, as Etheridge is going to keep it here, stutter steps at the line of scrimmage.
Shoelace tackle. It looked like he had some space there.
And just tripped up inside the 5. Josh, with that 23 carries and 207 yards, that's averaging almost a first down per carry. That's 9 yards per carry.
It's hard to get much better than that. That's Grace going here a little bit with tempo.
3 receivers to the far sideline. And it's going to be a give to B.A. Lowers his shoulder, plowing ahead.
That's very close to a touchdown.
Very, very close. He's at the 1.
See, if I was playing Madden, this is where I'd go hurry up and QB sneak that thing right in over the goal line.
Right, absolutely. Well, we're going to see what they decide to do here. It is it's 3rd down. According to the stick over there, it's still 3rd down. For some reason, Josh, I was thinking it was 4th down, but I like 3rd down better. Etheridge is going to keep it.
Oh, he got
Stretches.
it.
Touchdown.
What a start to this game. The big stop on defense. Follow that up with a great methodical drive for the touchdown. And Grace gets on the board first, 6-0 with the extra point coming up.
That touchdown brought to you by Biomax as Etheridge forced his way into the end zone. High snap. He brings it down, and it's blocked. Loose at the 15-yard line. They pick it up, and he's going to drag him down right across the 30.
Yeah, the high snap that time makes it difficult for the holder to get it down. And unfortunately, by the time he got it down, the kick was made. The defense was able to gather and get that block. So 6-0 Grace here in the first quarter.
You always like to strike first, Josh.
Absolutely. Draw first blood, whatever analogies you want to use. But a good job by this football team to get the stop on first down, get the score, and get this home crowd into this game.
6-0 Grace. 7:44 remaining in this first quarter. And Grace is going to line up to kick off. And the official there taking his time counting tonight. This officiating crew is led by Wes Hall. Wes Hall is no stranger to the football field. He has officiated many, many games around this area through the years. Josiah King set to kick off. And he's going to send this one, and it's almost a collision that took place there.
Oh!
And what a hit.
I can't even see who that is.
Josh, I believe that was Parker Sterner. And that was a smashing hit. He's a freshman, if I'm reading this correctly.
Gracious. Yeah, that's how you lay the wood down on a kickoff.
That's how you get coach's attention, too. What a hit. So First Baptist will start at their own 30. Shotgun snap, quick pass, a wide receiver screen.
And
nowhere to go.
A lot of blue jerseys there.
They fought off a holding out there with no flag and still made the stop for no gain.
You know, one thing that I love so far about what we're seeing is that Grace has come out with a little bit of physicality, and it's really starting to make their mark.
Yes, they
have. The hits, the runs, the hard runs, the physicality. That's what you want to see out of a football team.
That's going to be a quarterback keeper, and he is
nowhere.
slung down by Andrew Gardner.
The Gardner, and he plants him. And I apologize to Andrew's family. I will probably do that all season long.
Not probably, he will. 2-yard gain there. So we go under 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8.
This is where you want to see get some pressure on the quarterback. He's shown the ability to evade pressure, to get the ball downfield. Don't give him the time back there.
Dylan Jones is the quarterback for First Baptist. Shotgun snap to him, flushed out toward the near sideline, throws on the run deep down the near sideline, and it's caught. Caught and out of bounds. It's Micah Foster. So you don't want to give up a big gain like that on 3rd and long, but now you just have to back up and recover.
Yeah, after you fight so hard to get him on 3rd and long. But again, I said the quarterback, he's shown a lot of ability to get the ball downfield and been very accurate.
It'll be a running play here and upended at the 26-yard line. Gardner involved on the stop there again for Grace.
Interesting formation here.
Yeah, there's a lot happening on that one. And it's going to be a keeper following all that line of blocking. Inside the 20, finally taken out at the 17. That's going to be enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, a lot of bodies there as that quarterback was able to run behind a wall.
And once again, Josh, it's already been said, they do move quickly. Back in that same formation again.
I don't know if I've ever seen that formation.
And it's going to be the same play, and this time it does not work.
Good job.
Fool me once, shame on you.
But you're not fooling me twice.
A host of Cougars there to make that stop.
I guess they really like this formation right now.
They're back in that same formation, Josh.
1 receiver out wide, 3 running backs in the backfield.
This time he's going to throw out of it into the end zone.
That's a touchdown.
And it's caught. I think there would have been pass interference on it as well. I don't see a flag, but what a catch there by Eddie Proctor for First Baptist Academy.
Yeah, that was just a tough play. You run QB sneak, fake QB sneak. Justice just not able to get his head around in time, and the quarterback just throws it right there. He's in great coverage, but just unable to get his eyes on the football, and it's going to be a touchdown for Baptist.
I do not believe that I'm related to Eddie Proctor, but if I was, I would be calling him after this game and saying, how dare you do that to the Cougars? All right, so now First Baptist takes the lead. It's 7-6. 5:05 remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. I'm Preston Proctor. With me in the booth is Josh McElhaney, bringing you the action. Grace Game Day is your front row seat to Grace Cougar Athletics. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Not a cloud in the sky. The sun is shining. It's a little bit warmer than it was last week.
Yeah, and I'm looking across the field over there at that those visitor bleachers, and I can barely look over there with
the roasting in the sun,
with the sunlight coming down that metal, and I'm just glad I'm not sitting there.
B.A. and Elijah Hicks back deep to receive this kick. As Matthias Bistrian is going to kick off for First Baptist. Short pooch kick. Nice Willie Mays catch by Andrew Gardner.
And good job just to turn around and pick up a few yards there and give Grace great field position to start this drive.
That's a great job by Andrew Gardner. That was kind of headed to no man's land, and he turned his back to the kicker and caught that over the shoulder. Very Willie Mays style there. Nice play.
Great callback to the Willie Mays catch.
You know, I'm older than I look. Grace is going to start this drive at their own 47-yard line, trailing this game 7-6. Nice crowd out here tonight for this game, despite the warmth. Shotgun snap to Etheridge. He's going to hand this off to B.A. Into the line, nowhere to go. Fights off. It continues to fight off, Josh. Down the sideline and out of bounds.
Oh,
unbelievable.
My goodness. I thought for sure he was down. I'm looking through the camera here, and I'm like, oh, he's down. And then all of a sudden I see more bodies running down the sideline. What an effort.
That's an all-state first down on what I thought was a loss of 2.
And, again, he's showing you just his determination as a runner.
Just absolutely ridiculous. And he's a sophomore, Josh. He's a sophomore.
Yeah, so we'll be calling his name for a while.
We get to talk about him for a couple of years. Elijah Hicks goes in motion to the slot on the far sideline. Now Porter in motion. Shotgun snap to Etheridge. He's looking deep for Porter. Got him inside the 5. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Cougars.
What a throw. What a route. That is how you answer on offense. And we might be in for one of those barn burners, as they say, that Baptist was in last week.
I'm telling you. That's a Biomax touchdown for the Cougars. Doak Porter showing off that long stride to get free down the middle of the field.
And Etheridge just throwing a dart there. Now they're going to line up, go for 2 here.
Shotgun snap. He's looking near sideline, throws, and it is caught. And the conversion is good to Elijah Hicks.
Good job. Great body control. Way to get up and use his hands. And just like that, Grace is back on top, 14-7. And, partner, that's how you want to answer on offense.
That Biomax touchdown puts Grace ahead, and the two-point conversion extends the lead to 7. And, Josh, it's been a really nice start to this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Offensively, Grace has been in control. The challenge is going to be quarterback on the other side. He's been wheeling and dealing. And so maybe getting some pressure on the quarterback, take some of that pressure off of the secondary who's having to cover for a while as he scrambles around and is able to find open players. But you can't ask for a better start offensively than what Grace has shown today.
Yeah, they've moved the ball well. Have not gone the wrong direction. And even in the midst of some adversity, they've still been able to just buckle in and move the ball. It's what it takes.
Absolutely. And there's still 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. We've already had really 4 touchdowns, 1 called back for a penalty, but 3 touchdowns on the board. So quick scoring here. Both defenses looks like they're going to be in for a long night.
Josiah King, the junior, set to kick off for Grace. High, short kick, fair catch called for and made at the 34-yard line. And that is where the Saints will begin this drive. 4:40 remaining in the first quarter.
Got a flag on the play. So offsides on Grace on the kickoff. The Saints are going to take those yardage, and they're going to start here on the 40-yard line.
Nice starting field position for the Saints. Shotgun snap. Now he's going to delay handoff. Threw an arm
Good
tackle,
job.
but then he ran into Gardner.
Yeah, and I guess you can say the Gardner's the keeper of the grounds here.
Oh, boy.
Not on my turf, he says.
Josh's freshman son, Jackson, is in the booth with us, and I feel like that comment kind of embarrassed him slightly, so you will be rest assured you'll hear it again. Shotgun snap, quick pass over the middle. It's caught, and lunging ahead close to the first down marker is Lincoln Schlief for First Baptist.
Yeah, I think I felt Jackson's eyes roll all the way over here.
Oh, yeah, they did. So they go quickly, 3rd and 1. Dylan Jones in the gun, shotgun snap, handoff up the middle, and he's got right at the marker. They're going to give it to him. He fell forward across the first down marker.
Just barely squeaked over that first down line, and it's going to be a new set of downs here for the Saints.
They're in Grace territory now. 1 yard on the Grace side of the 50. Deep pass down the far sideline. Got a man. And it's caught.
Good night. Justice is in great position.
Once again, he's right there.
There's not a lot you can do against that. That's when you just tip your cap to a guy and say, man, you made a heck of a play. Perfectly thrown football. And now First Baptist is about to score again.
It's KJ Sykes Jr. on the reception there for the Saints. Handoff up the middle, plowing his way down inside the 10, but runs out of real estate. Gardner, Cole Stanley, and Aaron Vadrine all combining on that stop. We go under 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Deep pass, or excuse me, not a deep pass, but a pass into the end zone. And it is a touchdown.
Yeah, he's a good receiver.
Yeah, that was KJ Sykes Jr. again on that reception. And Josh, he's showing an ability to just go and high point the throw.
Yeah.
As now they are an extra point away from tying this game up. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. And we are all knotted up at 14 with 2:46 remaining in the first quarter. And Josh, we'll take a moment here and say thank you to some of our sponsors. I want to say a great big thank you to Harley's. Gentlemen, if you are in need of some nice gentleman's clothing, I would encourage you to go to Harley's. They are next to Dakota's Steakhouse behind the mall off of Old Bullard Road, and they have a fantastic selection of men's shirts, suits, sport coats, ties, socks, shoes, pants, just anything you need for the business look. I would encourage you to go there. Harley's has been around for a long time, and we're so thankful for their support this year of Grace Game Day.
Absolutely.
2:46 remaining in the first quarter. There's been 28 points put on the board between the two teams, each of them contributing 14 points to that total.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be one of those games where which defense can get a stop first. Grace got a stop coming out of the first possession. And so this is going to be one of those games.
Another pooch kick, and that's going to be taken on a fair catch. Wyatt Buchanan, and Grace will start at the 41-yard line in great field position again.
Yeah, both teams kind of just not wanting to play the kickoff game. Grace got burned on the first kickoff. They kicked deep. And so now you're seeing a lot of these little pooch kicks.
Yep. Yep, they're not showing much of a desire to kick it deep. Well, the game started off with a bang with Micah Foster for First Baptist taking it back 99 yards for a touchdown, thankfully called back for an interception or for a holding penalty. As that's going to be a give going to the far sideline. It's Christian Henry.
He's going to be close to first down. Over midfield there.
Yeah, I
They're
think he
mark him
might
down
be
to 49.
maybe about a yard shy, Josh. 2nd and 1 coming up. Grace comes out in the gun. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Now we got motion, and Etheridge looking to keep it, coming toward the near sideline. He got a lot of Saints back there with him, and they swallow him up for a loss.
Yeah, just nowhere to go on that. Looked like a design QB run there, and First Baptist was all over that one. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short.
So 2nd and 1 goes to 3rd and 3. Well, actually, it looks more like from the sticks, 3rd and 2. It's a long 2, though. B.A., the lone back in the backfield with Etheridge. And they're going to give it to him, and he is just gobbled up as soon as he took the handoff. So Grace gains 9 yards on first down, and then they give about 5 of those yards back in the next 2 plays, and they're going to have to punt the ball away.
So 3 and out is not how you want to answer their touchdown.
Coming back on the return, he is
Good
pulled
job.
down. Aaron Vadrine. There's 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter, tied up at 14. And I want to say, I just got word, I want to give a quick little shout out to my favorite 6-year-old in the whole world. Cohen is watching Grace Game Day tonight.
Hey, Cohen.
And so big shout out to my dude Cohen.
Ooh.
Josh, that pass was almost picked off. Wyatt Buchanan had his eyes all over that.
Yeah, he read that perfectly and just over his fingertips, or else that would have been a big play again for this Grace defense.
30 seconds remaining in the first quarter, knotted up at 14. Handoff, stumbling, and down he goes.
Nowhere. And again, Andrew Gardner just in there every play.
Yeah. Josh, I think you could just about kind of put it on repeat that we'll call Andrew Gardner's name on defense just about every play. With him on that stop was Christian Henry as they combined for the loss.
Yeah, and Christian Henry's getting his name called quite a bit tonight already.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. At the end of one, we are all knotted up at 14. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this.
In the heart of White House, there's a place where hope resides. Welcome to Hope Church, where the embrace of hope transforms lives. We are more than a church. We are a refuge of compassion, a haven of strength, and a beacon of light. At Hope Church, you'll discover a community that's here for you. Join us in the journey of hope, where every story matters. Your place of hope, right here, right now.
All right, welcome back to Grace Game Day as we are getting set to begin the second quarter of play. I would like to give a little shout out there. We got the camera that we were telling everyone about, that we were saying on the last week's broadcast that we wanted to get it in. It was adventurous. It was supposed to be on Tuesday, and apparently it made an extra trip around the nation, and it arrived this afternoon. And so we're glad that we were able to get it in, but got it in, got it set up, and thankfully Jason, who does the audio video work at our church, he came by and helped us get it all finished and working. And so hope you're enjoying the new camera work. It's brand new, so we'll get even better at it, but I think it's already an improvement. Shotgun snap.
They got
Gardner. Gardner is
Big
there.
Sack.
That's a big-time play there.
Yeah, because that brings up a long fourth down.
Yes.
And there you go. You get a 3-and-out on one side. You punt it off. Defense stands up, gets a 3-and-out back, and now Grace gets a chance to get the ball in excellent field position here.
Jared Castillo back to punt for the Saints, and he gets away a beauty.
Oh.
It's going to roll all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And that's how you flip field position right there. Oh, yeah, I'll take this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You know what? I've never turned down M&Ms in my life. Big thank you to the wonderful angels from heaven that just brought food up to the press box. Josh, I got so caught up with staring at that wonderful food that I forgot to stop the clock. 11:09 remaining in the second quarter. Grace starts this drive at the 27-yard line after an enormous punt. Shotgun snap to Etheridge. Quick screen pass to B.A., and he dropped it. Incomplete.
I thought for a second that was a backwards pass.
Thankfully, it was not. It was close. We don't need any video review or anything on that one.
On that one, it's kind of a good thing he drops it because First Baptist was all in the backfield, and there was just nowhere to go. And rather than losing yards and forcing a long second down, we just start back over where first down was. So all's well that ends well in that one.
Yeah, that was going to be a loss of about 4 or 5 yards. Quick pass out in the flat to B.A., and that one was a little bit low and off his fingertips.
Yep, so not the start you want to see here on offense. Both teams kind of settling in defensively, and Grace had such a great rhythm when they started their first 2 drives, just able to march down the field and put up points pretty efficiently. And now these last couple drives stalling, and we got a long, big third down here. So let's see what this team is going to turn to here on this third down.
3rd and 10 is not really a position you want to put yourself in. But we've seen them overcome it before. Porter is back, throwing for Porter and incomplete. A little bit of an out route there, right at the sticks, and it was just thrown wide.
Yeah. Pressure in his face, unable to get his feet set, unable to complete that pass to the receiver, and now Grace is going to have to punt once again.
.58 left until halftime. And Cole Stanley will line up to punt here for Grace. And it rolls back to him. He picks it up, and he's going to run.
Oh, man.
And he gets taken down at the 21-yard line. That's not what you wanted to do right there.
No, just very unfortunate. Not a lot you can do when the ball's just rolling on the ground. He's got to pick it up. Do you try to punt that still and get it blocked, or do you just try to make a play? He tried to make a play and just nowhere to go with that.
It happened some last week, Josh, some that kind of short hopped back to him. This one rolled back to him, and it rolled like you would expect a football to roll.
Yeah, not in a straight line. So First Baptist in great field position here, unfortunately.
Shotgun snap, quarterback keeper. And he runs into Gardner.
I don't know if he's going to want to run too many of those up the middle.
Josh, I think if I'm the opposing offense, if I'm the quarterback for the other team and I'm playing against Grace, every time I go through my pre-snap reads, I'm looking for 33. Where's he at?
Yeah, I don't think I'm trying to run it right in the teeth of that defense.
And we're going to get a flag here.
I
believe it's a false start. So that'll back the Saints up behind the chains. 2nd and 13 now. Line of scrimmage is the 24. Empty backfield. 5 wide receiver set. He's going to throw over the middle deep, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, good coverage again. This time the quarterback just overthrows that route. Long third down coming up. And looks like First Baptist is making a quarterback change here. It's number 11.
Yeah, that's Dylan Jones. They've been kind of rolling back and forth between Dylan Jones and number 9. Quick pass to the sideline. Caught inside the 20.
Good tackle.
And he's brought down by Christian Henry.
And that's going to bring up 4th down. And I think First Baptist is going to go for this. So great opportunity here for Grace to make amends for that fumbled snap on the punt by getting a stop here on 4th down. Let's see what they can do.
4th and 3, hard count, looks to the sideline. Empty backfield. Dylan Jones is the quarterback.
And
the
looks like they were
Saints-
just trying to get a free play of cheap penalty there to get a first down, and Grace didn't bite for that one.
Yeah, the Saints are going to take a timeout. 9:18 remaining in the first half. Knotted up at 14. First Baptist took over deep in Grace territory on a miss snap on the punt. Left Grace kind of just really left him out to dry, Josh.
Yeah.
And Cole Stanley picked it up and did what he could with it, gained a couple of yards, but not enough for a first down. And so the Saints took over at right about the 24-yard line. And, man, the Grace defense has gotten stout right here.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see.
So in the making now, a big defensive stand for Grace. Let's see what the Saints decide to do. Looks like the quarterback is running back onto the field. And, Josh, they are going to go for it.
Yeah, so, again, a big opportunity here for this defense to make a big stand inside the red zone.
Grace fans making some noise over here. 4th and 3. Shotgun snap. Throwing to the end zone, and he completely throws. They weren't on the same page, Josh.
At all. I think the receiver was running a corner post route, and that quarterback threw a comeback route, and there was nobody in the vicinity of that football. And big break as this defense makes a big stand here.
Josh, that throw almost looked like he was trying to throw a fade, but that was not fade territory.
No, he kind of just lobbed that up towards the sideline, and the receiver, in trying to get back to where that football was headed, just falls down the play, loses his footing as he's running full speed towards the back pylon of the end zone. And not on the same page, costly play for First Baptist, and a great job by this Grace defense of making a big stand. And now BA comes out in the Wildcat again. We saw this some last week. He drops the ball.
Picks it back
Still
up,
running.
across the 20 and out of bounds.
Good concentration to get that ball back. I think he picks up a first down, or 1 yard short.
Yeah, 9-yard gain on the play.
So able to avoid disaster and still able to pick up 9 yards on the play. Great job.
Yeah, First Baptist is not the team you want to just give presents to.
So here we are back in the Wildcat again.
Dances in the backfield, and he's going to have first down yardage. He paid the price for it, but he's going to get another all-state first down for the Wildcat, or excuse me, for the Cougars.
Yeah, just a great job to be patient, put his head down, pick up that extra yard and a half that they needed to get that first down, and the sticks move, and it looks like Etheridge is back out there.
Old habits die hard, Josh. When you call Wildcat games for 3 years, sometimes that muscle memory kicks in.
It does.
But it's good to be a Cougar. Shotgun snap to Etheridge. Breaks containment on the play. Spins out of a tackler and runs over somebody for another all-state first down.
What a run. And that was not a design quarterback run. He's in the pocket. He's looking downfield. Nowhere to go with the ball. So he goes, able to break tackles, run defenders over, and picks up another Grace first down. Just what a run that time.
First and 10 from the 35. It electrified these home bleachers over here. Now Etheridge is back, looking deep, but now he's going to be in trouble, and he's going to be sacked.
And that time, still nowhere to go with the football. Great coverage downfield in both of those plays, but the defensive line is able to get there, make the tackle, and that's a big loss on first down, as it's going to bring up second about 15, maybe 16. And so I guess we got a injury substitution happening. I wasn't sure if he was calling timeout or not, the way he was waving his hands, but substitution, and now we're ready to roll. So second down and about 16 here. And let's see if Grace can get some momentum going. They had 2 great plays and a couple miscues here.
You'd like to get at least half of it back here. Fakes the
Pressure
screen,
in his
throws
face.
back to BA. Lots of room. 35, 40. Across midfield and out of bounds.
And that's just great patience that time by the quarterback. Knows the defenders are bearing down on him, lets them get as close as he can, dumps it over the top. And BA just with so much grass in front of him, able to pick up another first down. It's now Grace is in the plus territory across the 50-yard line.
That's an excellent play call there.
Yeah, we saw it last week too. That screen pass to BA in space like that gives them a lot of room to make men miss and pick up positive yardage. And we saw that over and over again last Friday, and we see it again here tonight. So just a great job with that play.
In Saints territory at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Etheridge is back, looking, throwing deep down the sideline. Got a man. Oh, overthrown.
Again, great route. Porter's able to run past the defense, but just slightly over his reach. Those are the ones you really want to see connected.
.637 left until halftime. Knotted up at 14. Josh, it was 14-14 pretty quickly in this game, and since then,
yeah, both defenses kind of settled down.
Defenses have gotten tough. It's going to be a jet sweep. He's got first down yardage. That's an all-state first down for Cole Stanley, or excuse me, for Christian Henry.
Oh, he's slow to get up. Been such a positive, impactful player so far in this ball game. You hope it's something minor here.
6:22 left in the first half. And we're going to say thank you to some sponsors while they are tending to Henry over there. And I'm hoping that we just got a cramp and getting stretched out a little bit. I know it's humid enough for it, that's for sure. I want to say a great big thank you to the Allstate agent in White House. It's Miss Monette Taylor. She has an Allstate office right there on Highway 110. As you go into White House, it's on the left-hand side, right near the post office. And if you would like somebody to just take a look at your insurance coverage and review it for you, if you need somebody to give you an honest opinion, Monette is the kind of person that would do that. She'll take great care of you. And so I would encourage you, for insurance needs, go see Monette Taylor, Allstate agent, located in White House, Texas.
Yeah, and a good sign here. It looks like Henry's able to walk across the field on his own power. So maybe it was one of those cramps. It is humid. It's still early in the season. I'm just glad to see him up and able to walk under his own power. Doesn't look like anything too serious. He's made such an impact in this game so far, so you hope he's okay.
Yes, he has. So it's going to be 3rd and a half yard. BA in the backfield with Etheridge. And it's going to be a gift. BA quickly bounces toward the outside, cuts up inside, and gets an all-state first down to the 25-yard line.
Good job to see that there was no hole there in the middle. Bounces it outside and knows just where the sticks are. Gets outside, gets a little bit of space, and then just puts his head down, picks up that first down, and moves the chains.
Solid running by BA.
That's a great run.
You know, as soon as he took that handoff, Josh, he could see that the inside of the field was just not open. And he bounced it out so fast, and just really great vision there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't teach vision.
No, and he's definitely got it. He knows where to go.
Etheridge, quick pass.
Oh, no.
Caught and fumbled, but he's able to get back on it.
surprised they didn't call that an incomplete pass. But we got a flag down.
Got a flag on the play. Curious to see what, for one, the flag is all about. As the officials are discussing here. So they call an illegal formation against the sophomore Coleman Swain. And Josh, that's going to be one of those weird rules where if you are a half foot off as a wide receiver with where you're lining up, they'll get you.
On the line, off the line. The referees are watching that. It's just one of those things that you just have to know where you are on the field. So they accept the penalty, backs them up on first down, now in 15.
Etheridge is back. Pressure immediately slips through it, and he'll get back right at the line of scrimmage.
At that time, he just had no time in the pocket as the pressure got there fast.
BA in the Wildcat. He's going to run near sideline, 45-40, turns the corner, and he's across the 30 before he is knocked out of bounds.
That's a late hit, isn't it? I think there could have been a flag there for a late hit as he shoved him out of bounds, and BA lands on the track.
Yeah,
I don't know how there's not a flag there.
Yeah, that was definitely looked like it could have been a flag. He was very much in the white portion of the boundary when they made contact with him. So now Justice McQuay is in, and we're going to get a timeout here for Grace. They have one timeout remaining in the half, 4:19 remaining in the first half. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. 4:19 remaining in the first half. We are knotted up at 14. Grace with the ball in Saints territory at the 28-yard line. Looking to take the lead here before halftime.
All right, big third down here. Third and about 3.
Etheridge is back. Quick pass. Wide open. Porter at the 20. Makes a man miss at the 10. And into the end zone.
Great run after the catch. Great job.
That's a Biomax touchdown.
And that is how it's done. Grace takes the lead once again.
Doak Porter.
He's having himself a game today.
Extra point is up, and it is good.
Good job.
Two broken tackles en route to the end zone. Made one man miss at the 11, broke a tackle at the 6, and got in for 6.
Yeah, just great job. Once he got the ball in space, he's going to be hard to bring down. He's shifty, he's quick, long strides, and just a great job of evading defenders, getting into the end zone, and Grace now up 21-14.
What a drive there by the Cougars.
Yeah, great drive. Methodical, moved the ball. Made plays when out of nothing. You had B.A. fumbling a direct snap, but picking it up and picking up yards. Quarterback fighting for yards on a broken play. Executing when they need to execute. Just a great job all the way around.
Fair catch at the 44-yard line. Nobody wants to kick it to the returners.
No, and after the way this game started, I don't blame him. But I didn't see him call the fair catch there. So I was halfway kind of holding my breath, expecting a major collision, but I just missed that one. So now First Baptist comes out. The Grace defense really stood up and has really made their presence known after Dallas First Baptist was moving the ball pretty efficiently. Let's see if we can get another stop here.
He's back to pass, rolling out, throwing toward the sideline, caught right at midfield. And pardon me, I thought they stopped the clock there for going out of bounds, but I'm assuming they did not. We'll get that clock going again.
Yeah, kind of hard to see that boundary on that side of the field from here.
I thought I saw him wave his arm like it was going to be
man
out of bounds. Nice run there by Dylan Jones.
He smartly pulled that one back down as there was somebody bearing down, hands up. That would have been a batted pass or possibly even an interception there at the goal line.
That was Mac Gaudier that was bearing down on him.
But the quarterback's able to tuck it and run and pick up that first down, and here they go with their tempo again.
Another delayed handoff there. It's going to gain maybe a yard. Clock's running as we get closer and closer to halftime. Shotgun snap, quick screen pass to a wide receiver in the slot, and Foster is going to get inside the 30.
He's very dangerous with the ball in his hands, as we saw on that kickoff early in the game. And
that's going to put them in a 3rd and 5 situation, Josh. About 2:25 remaining in the first half. And Foster's coming up with a little bit of a hitch in his get-along, as my grandfather would say.
Yeah, that looks like he's suffering from a little bit of cramps there, too. This humidity in Texas is no joke.
And we're going to get a flag here. It's a false start.
Let's see the false start of formation.
And so now we've reached the 2-minute warning. It's new in high school football this year, Josh. They actually do take a timeout for the 2-minute warning now at the end of the first half and at the end of the game.
Yep. So this gives our defense a chance to get their wind and figure out a play to do here on this 3rd down. I believe it's 3rd down now.
And Josh, as the sun sets, the temperature is getting a bit more bearable around here. Feels pretty good. I still feel like I need to eat these M&Ms quickly during halftime, though, so they don't melt.
That's good reasoning right there. That's called wisdom.
It is. You know, my dad didn't raise somebody that's crazy. And let's just say I know what to do with some M&Ms. They don't last long. And you don't share. I don't care if the bag says share size on it. They're not made to share.
No, that's
a selfish snack. Now, I know I should not say that, but
sometimes it's okay to be selfish. And when you get a big tasty bag of M&Ms,
and when you got kids in the house, Josh, I mean, sometimes I don't want to give away trade secrets in here with the teenagers sitting here, but sometimes you got to take that box of Oreos, that package of Oreo cookies, and stick them inside an empty box of Raisin Bran cereal.
You got to hide it.
I mean, ain't no kid going in. I'm a grown up, and I'm not going in Raisin Bran cereal looking for nothing. 3rd and 10. Here we go. Big play for the Cougars defense here. Quarterback keeper right up the middle.
Good job.
Stonewall.
Good job.
Guess who? Andrew Gardner.
Good job.
Aaron Vadrine got there first and tripped him up. And
Yeah,
Josh, they're going for it here.
Wow. I guess you're kind of in that territory, that gray area where kind of too close to punt, but too far to kick a field goal. So put the
Here's
ball in
the
the hands of
snap.
the quarterback and see what happens.
Throwing deep. Grace is there. And smartly, I don't know if they meant to, but I'm glad they dropped it.
Well, I think both guys were trying to come up with that interception.
I'm really glad they dropped it, though, because now Grace gets the ball at the 35 instead of at the 2.
Yeah. They were looking at that football like a share size of M&Ms. They're like, I'm not sharing this ball. I want that interception. And luckily, the ball drops, and Grace gets great field position. To try to get some more points here, we talked about it last week, that scoreboard sandwich gets the points to end the first half, gets some points to start the second half, and Grace in a great position to really try to give themselves a little bit of breathing room here going into halftime.
Yeah, Grace set up nicely here. $1:25 until halftime. Quick pass out to Hicks, and he's going to get just a couple of yards. Clock's going to keep running. Grace only has one timeout. They will get the ball to start the second half. Josh, I just got to say, I like the new camera, and you were doing a swell job.
Well, thank you, sir. I am trying to get as comfortable with this as quickly as possible. I had about 5 minutes before the game started to figure out these controls. So we are winging it.
Grace is going to take the timeout now with 36 seconds remaining until halftime. So, Josh, they appear to be very content as they just spent their last time out. They appear to be content to go into the locker room up 21-14.
Yeah, just wasted a lot of time there. It looks like they're just comfortable to let this go to halftime, up a touchdown, getting the ball to start the second half.
As the Cougars drum line is getting into place here. While they're doing that, Josh, I'd like to tell everybody about another sponsor of Grace Game Day. We've got Scoop and Grind. Scoop and Grind is just about 2 miles down the road from where we sit right now. It's in Chapel Hill. Fantastic coffee shop, but not just a coffee shop. They also have ice cream. They don't just have ice cream. And we're not talking about like great value ice cream. And we're not talking about somebody that says they can make homemade ice cream and it's just because nobody's had the guts to tell them that they can't make homemade ice cream. They have Bluebell ice cream in multiple flavors. And they also have Tillamook ice cream in multiple flavors. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Grace in the gun. Snap to Etheridge. And he's going to throw that screen. That's to McQuay. Look out now down the sideline. 50, cuts inside 40. To the 30. To the 15. Touchdown, Cougars. Biomax touchdown.
And, I think Coach Russell might be a mad genius, making it look like he was just going to run the clock out going into halftime and comes out with a beautiful screen pass And Grace now up 2 touchdowns with 24 seconds left to go in the half. Unbelievable play, unbelievable run by McQuaid that time. Man, he was quick down the sideline.
Yes, he was. That was just beautiful.
Yeah, that time Justice had the juice.
Extra point is up, and it is good. And so with 24 seconds remaining until halftime, Grace extends their lead to 14. We'll be back right after this. The entire stadium was just led in a chant. That was awesome.
As these Grace fans are fired up at this performance here in the first half. As Grace gets ready to kick off up 28-14. And I guess we can expect one of those pooch kicks.
Yep, there it is. Fair catch taken at the 35-yard line. All right, Josh, if you're First Baptist, what do? Nothing you've done offensively has really worked in the last quarter plus of play. You're down 14 on the road, 24 seconds left till halftime, 65 yards away from the end zone, only 2 timeouts. Do you risk being aggressive here and having something disastrous happen and going down by 3 scores?
I don't know. I think this is one of those plays where you see what the first play is. If nothing happens, you just let the clock run out.
We're about to find out. Snap to
Looks
Jones.
like
He's looking.
to take a shot
pressured.
here.
Throws over the middle. Intercepted. 45-40. Down the sideline to the 30. Out of bounds at the 26. 13 seconds left on the clock.
And that's exactly what you said could be a disastrous outcome for First Baptist as they decide to be aggressive with 24 seconds left and throw an interception. And now Grace is in position. What yard line do you need to feel comfortable with this field goal?
Josh, Aaron Vadrine read the eyes of that quarterback the whole way and picked it off right on the logo and brought it back to the 27-yard line.
What a play. And we've called Vadrine's name quite a bit tonight, too. Just making a statement here at home as the offense comes out on the field with 12.8 seconds to go. And is Etheridge going to take a shot here?
He's back, looking, rolling, pressured. He's going to run out of bounds. 5 seconds remaining. So essentially, maybe gains about a yard on the play to the 26. So you're looking at, from this point right here, Josh, you're looking at roughly about a 42, 43-yard field goal attempt. I think that if they were to run Cole Stanley out there, I think he's got the leg for it, but they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, and I think at this point, I think you're more worried about just the overall play, the snap.
Etheridge is back, pressured, rolling, and he's going to go out of bounds. There's no time left on the clock. And so, hey, that's fine. You'll take it. It's halftime. Grace leads 28-14. Against the 2-time defending state champions, the First Baptist Academy Saints from Dallas.
Yeah, just a great first half. Great effort, great grit.
Fans showing their appreciation for the effort of these Cougars in the first half. What an absolute effort that they put forth.
Yeah, just great first half. Defensively, offensively, just really putting it together when they needed to, and now up 2 scores, getting the ball out of halftime. You'd love to be greedy there in that last play, but I think smartly, Etheridge, nothing's there. You don't want to force another turnover.
Right.
Just keep it, let the clock run out. Let's go to halftime. We're going to get the ball to start the second half.
All right, guys. So what we're fixing to do is we're fixing to turn the cameras toward the field, and we're going to put the microphones at the window so you can enjoy this halftime performance. It'll be First Baptist Academy first, and then your Grace Cougars will perform to close out halftime. Thanks for tuning in to Grace Game Day. 28-14, Cougars lead at the half. We'll be back for the start of the second half.
Enjoy their strut onto the field too. This is Sparta, played by our high school drumline.
zoom in at all. Yes, now it's okay. Welcome back, Cougar fans, as we are getting ready for the start of the second half. And you are tuned into Grace Game Day, your front row seat for Grace Athletics. I'm Preston Proctor. With me is Josh McElhaney. So glad to be bringing you the action tonight. And as we get ready for the start of the second half, I'd like to recognize a couple more of our sponsors. I want to say a great big thank you to Hager Law. Hager Law is a family law practice right here in Tyler. And if you ever have need of any kind of family law activity done, then I would strongly recommend reaching out to Hager Law Firm. And we appreciate their support of Grace Game Day this year. So, Josh, we're now ready for the start of the second half. And we got exactly what we wanted. Grace was able to score before halftime to extend the lead to 14. And now they get the ball to start the second half. And here we go with another short kick. It's going to be just fallen on at the 33-yard line. That's Justice McQuay.
Yeah, that's just smart. Just get the ball, get possession, and let the offense come out and get to work. So good job there. Sometimes those are really hard to get a hand on because it's kind of coming in wobbly and bouncing around, but good job just falling on that. So now the offense is going to come out, and this is a great opportunity to really make a statement to start the second half. Grace had a great first half, and would love to see them come out and get some momentum early and really put the pressure on First Baptist here.
Yeah, I'd take a nice. I don't care if it's a long touchdown drive or if we score on one play as McQuay is coming toward the near sideline, cuts it back into the teeth of the Saints defense for a gain of a yard.
Yeah, I like the idea of getting him the ball fast, but that time First Baptist just in great position, just nowhere to run with the football that time.
Second and 9 from the 34-yard line, or 35 line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a give to B.A., patiently running, picking his spot, and weaving through for a gain of about 3. Looks like they're going to give him 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week, how he's just got a knack for being patient and always falling forward. So he's really hard to bring down for a loss and able to pick up a few yards there to set up a manageable 3rd down.
3rd down and 5. Motion. Swain going across. It's going to be a pass to him. Caught at the 40 and lunging ahead for an all-state first down.
And there you go. You get your first down. Get the sticks moving. Extend this drive.
Nice play there by the sophomore. Coleman Swain making an impact on this first drive of the second half. Etheridge going to keep it up the middle, and he's going to get about 2 yards, maybe 3. We just went under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Grace on the opening drive of this third quarter. Grace is not in a hurry. They're very deliberate on offense right now, allowing the play clock to get down to at least about 10 before they snap the ball. You got motion here, and it's going to be a keeper for Etheridge up the middle, spinning off of one tackler. And Josh, I noticed right then when he spun off, he tucked that ball in tight.
Yeah. Yeah, he put a few on the floor last week, and we knew it was going to be a point of emphasis this week in practice, and you can see already a concerted effort to get both hands around that football and prevent those fumbles.
Brings up 3rd and short as the clock dips under 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Third down, 3 yards to go. Grace is just across midfield in Saints territory at the 47-yard line. Etheridge looking to keep this one again, and he is going to get stopped. Looks like a loss of about a yard. It's going to bring up 4th and 4. We'll see what Grace wants to do right here at midfield.
Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. So big 4th down here on this first drive, right around midfield.
Wyatt Buchanan lined up as tight end on the left side of the formation. BA in the backfield with Etheridge. 2 wide receivers, Porter and McQuay, to the near sideline. And the lone wide receiver on the other end of the field. McQuay goes in motion. Looking deep for Porter. Down the sideline and overthrown, incomplete.
Man, a lot of contact down the field.
So the Saints are going to take over with great field position at the 49-yard line. 7:45 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, the referee's going to let them play on that one, as both guys appear to be hand fighting, trying to get in position for that play. And so now the Grace defense is on the field, where they've played pretty well in this game. So another opportunity for them to make their presence felt here.
Jones with a quick pass, caught by Foster into Grace territory. First down yardage and more down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he's been dangerous all game long.
Cole Stanley was the one that escorted Foster out of bounds. Shotgun snap, and that pass is low and incomplete.
And had it been completed, there was nowhere to go on that one anyways. So that's one where it's saves the receiver from an unnecessary blow up there on the line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up 2nd down now.
2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage is a 35-yard line in Cougar territory. Jones, quick pass, caught at the 30, breaks a tackle, and McQuay is going to sling him to the ground. Gardner comes in to finish him off.
Oh, no, and both guys look like they're shaking up.
Gardner has been favoring his arm really all season, Josh. He was favoring his arm and hand in Queen City last week. He's been favoring it tonight. You could see him after making some tackles that he would come up and be holding his hand. But there is another Cougar that's down on the turf right now. Looks like
I think it's Justice
looks
McQuay.
like it's Justice McQuay. It looks like they're stretching him, possibly. He's going to limp gingerly to the sideline, but under his own power. Here we go. Big play here. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. First down yardage down to the 20-yard line.
And Gardner's back in the game.
I got a feeling there's not much that would keep him out of a game.
No, he's a football guy through and through. Now it's first down here, just inside the red zone.
It's going to be another handoff inside the 20. Hurdles a defender across the 15 down to the 14.
Yeah, you want to be careful hurdling there in the middle of the field like that.
Feels different in real life than it does on video games. Going to be a 2nd and short now for the Saints. They need to get to the 10-yard line, and we need them to not get to the 10-yard line. This is kind of essentially how this thing all breaks down. Jones is back, steps up in the pocket, throws to the far sideline, caught by Foster, makes a man miss and gets inside the 10-yard line where he is stood up by Cole Stanley.
Yeah, great job to get his hands on him, prevent that from going any further. But it is going to be a 1st down and goal.
So that's a fresh set of downs now. Clock running, 5:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And First Baptist is looking to cut into this Grace lead.
Here goes that formation again.
It feels like they like it in this area of the field. And it's going to be a keeper up the middle, plowing his way down across the 5, down to the 4. And if there's any Saints fans that are tuning in, I really do apologize if I don't pronounce this young man's name correctly. I did not get any clarification on names before the game. But the quarterback, Josh, that comes in for that play and for several other plays that switched out with Dylan Jones is number 9, George. And I'm going to pronounce his name as Agnostis or Anagostis or something to that effect. Probably I'm not getting it right, but he is a big-bodied player as he just plowed into the end zone. Yeah, right on cue as we're talking about him. He just muscles his way into the end zone. Yeah, Josh, I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. I don't know if that's Ananostis.
Anagnostis.
However you pronounce his name, he's a pretty good football player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Logan Joe in to kick the extra point. It is up, and it is good. And so now the lead is cut to 7. 28-21, the Cougars lead.
Yeah,
4:21 left in the 3rd.
Not the way you really wanted to draw up the start of this first half with the Cougar offense stalling and then the First Baptist offense able to march down the field and get a touchdown to put them back in this ball game. So big possession coming up here for Grace.
Yeah, they're going to want to strike on this one, extend that lead back to a 2-score game. And, maybe this possession can not only extend it back to a 2-score game but carry it through the end of the 3rd quarter. Grace is set to receive here. We have not seen an actual, deep kickoff in a long time.
Not since the first kickoff. I mean, and to be fair, they kicked it off deep again after the penalty, which actually worked in Grace's favor because he fumbled it.
But they did a line drive on that one. Another little short kick. It's a live ball. Somebody needs to get on it.
No. Oh, no.
And I think First Baptist has it.
I don't know. I think everyone was kind of confused. Nobody really went after the football, and that's a backbreaker right there.
That looked like a lob wedge shot, Josh, when you're about 60 yards off the green and you just put that ball up in the air and the backspin causes it to hit the green and roll backwards. That's exactly what that ball did. It hit and it bounced backwards toward First Baptist, and couple of Grace guys collided into each other trying to get to it, and just like that, the Saints have the ball at the Grace 35-yard line.
Yeah, and just like that, they can actually go down here and tie this game when Grace had all the momentum and all the control coming out of halftime. And they're going to take a shot.
Looking deep.
Intercepted. Good job.
Intercepted by Burks. Coming down the near sideline across the 30.
And that's what you need right there.
Big time play there. Luke Burks, the freshman, read that the whole way and intercepted it at the 10-yard line.
Good job. Just Not a great decision by the quarterback that time, as he just took a shot deep, underthrew that, and when you underthrow it, tips and underthrows is what they say, always are going to lead to interceptions. And what a way to turn that momentum around by the freshman on the first play from scrimmage after that awkward kickoff that gave First Baptist life. Grace now back on the field.
Burks getting a lot of love from the coaching staff on the sideline after that play. Handoff to B.A., bounces it to the outside. Saints all over the backfield, and they're going to drop him. There is a flag down. And we will wait to see what the call is here. Clock stops with 4:02 remaining in the third quarter. Grace still leading by 7. We got some discussion here. We got a Saints player that goes to the turf. It appears that he's trying to stretch out his own cramp. That's not easy to do. And so while they're stretching him out, it's going to be a penalty against...
12 men on the field.
Yep, 12 men on the field, a penalty against the Saints. So that is going to move the ball up the field. And we're going to step away for just a moment while they are tending to the Saints player that's on the field. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day, as they are still trying to work on a cramp. I can't see who it is, Josh, for First Baptist that's on the ground, but he is right on the 35-yard line. And so while they are taking care of that, we will talk about a couple more sponsors. I want to say a big, big thank you to East Texas Nutrition, right there in the Green Acres Shopping Center next to Green Acres Baptist Church. And East Texas Nutrition is one of those places where you can go and get the energy teas. They're full of vitamins, and you can get just about any healthy thing you want to added to them. You can get collagen, immunity, and anything like that added to it. Go by there and get it one of those drinks. They also have protein bites that they make pretty regularly. They have meal replacement shakes, all kinds of things. Great, great people, and we are so thankful for their support this year of Grace Game Day. Go by East Texas Nutrition. 2nd down and 5. Etheridge is back, looking. He's winding up and going deep. Got Porter down the field. Incomplete. Oh, my goodness. It was there. It's just a touch underthrown.
Yeah, Porter had to work to come back for that one and just unable to make a tough catch. That would have been a great catch, and it looks like Justice is down again. I'm assuming these are cramps again, as he looks a little frustrated punching the ground.
(28-21), Grace leading. 3:44 remaining in the third quarter. Justice is up and walking off with a little bit of a limp. I think they might end up with some 5-gallon jugs of pickle juice out here before this is all said and done.
Yeah, I don't know if it works, but I've heard pickle juice works.
Second down and 5 from the 40. B.A. in the Wildcat. He's going to keep it. Looking to get to the corner. Just not able to get there. Gets about a yard. And that's going to be it. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4. And we're going to get an official timeout on the field
We got
for
another player down.
another player down.
Another cramp, it looks like. Yep. It is hot and it is humid. And with as much sweating as happening out there, these guys are having a tough time.
Great officiating crew tonight from the Tyler football officials. Referee Wes Hall, umpire Vincent Williams, head line judge Tim Cummins, line judge Greg Greenwood, back judge Josh Thompson, side judge Andrew Chestnut, and field judge Colton Weidman. Josh, they've done a really great job officiating this game tonight.
They have. Obviously, as fans sitting up here in the booth, there's calls that we wish we could get and calls we wish they didn't throw, but these guys have.
Sometimes as fans, there's calls that you shouldn't get, but you wanted them anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
like, see something that's not there, ref. But no, they've done a fantastic job tonight.
It's like, come on, ref, he tugged on his jersey. There's no way he didn't get there.
Right?
Great job by this crew tonight. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 4. Grace needs to get to the 45-yard line. Etheridge and B.A. in the backfield. Quick snap to Etheridge. He's back, looking, throws to the near sideline. Caught. That's Porter into into Saints territory. That's another All-State first down.
Good throw, good catch. Doug Porter's having himself a game today.
Clock under 3 minutes now remaining in the third. And, Josh, it would just really make you feel a lot better if Grace could go down here and score a touchdown and get this back to a 14-point game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Snap to Etheridge. He's going to give it to B.A. coming toward the near sideline. A lot of Saints there, and he's still able to make a couple of people miss.
Yeah, just not a lot of running room right now.
He gains about a yard, but, I mean, Josh, that was like trying to juke somebody in a telephone booth.
Yeah, he looks up, and there's all 11 players in white jerseys standing in front of him. Just nowhere to go that time.
Second and 9. Etheridge looks right, now goes left, looking, flushed out to the left. Now he comes back toward the right, and a shoestring tackle is going to bring Etheridge down for a loss. It's about a 5-yard loss there, Josh.
Man, if he had been able to avoid that last tackler, he had a lot of green grass in front of him. Just unable to get going, and now a long 3rd down. Now, I have to believe that at this part of the field, if we're able to pick up 5-6 yards on this play, that's going to set you up real nice to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, I think you're probably, under most circumstances in this play right here, you're in 4-down territory. But they are going to take a moment. And Coach Russell wants to just make sure they got the right play call in. We're going to take this time out with them. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day, your front row seat for Grace Athletics. Grace Cougars returning to the field on offense. It's 3rd down and 15. 1:39 remaining in the third quarter. Grace holding on to a 7-point lead. BA is going to come out of the backfield. And I think we had movement, but nothing called. Caught by Stanley.
Oh, they're
running
not catching
away.
him.
And he's into the end zone. Josh, I'm surprised that I didn't see a flag.
Yeah, me too. It looked like the receiver got going early. He was in motion, but
great call, ref.
that's one of those. As a fan, great call, ref.
Great call, ref. We appreciate that. 1:30 remaining in the third quarter, and that was a Biomax touchdown.
Yeah, just a great job. Once he gets the ball in his hand, he's got room to run. You're not catching him.
That extra point is up, and it is good. 1:30 remaining in the third quarter. Grace has extended the lead back to 14. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day, where the Cougars lead by the score of 35-21. 1:30 remaining in the third quarter. Josh, going back and looking at that replay, the movement that I thought was early, it really was not as early as it looked. Going back and looking at it again, it just they really just timed that snap so well.
And that's why the guys in the pinstripes are the guys in the pinstripes.
And that's why I'm sitting up here. High kick, taken at the 27, up across the 30, 35, and falls forward across the 40-yard line.
So in what's been kind of the story of the game is every team is starting just around the 40, 45-yard line every possession. Nobody's really had to go the length of the field in this game.
Yeah, nobody's really been pinned deep much at all.
So First Baptist back on the field. Last time they had it, they threw that interception, which led to that Grace touchdown, where they were able to extend that lead back to 14. So let's see what this defense can do this time. Already with, 3 interceptions in this game?
I'll take another one right here. I'm putting the order in. Here we go. Jones is, or no, excuse me, that's not Jones.
Oh, no.
Pass is complete, and he is run down at the 35-yard line by, I believe that's Josiah King.
Yeah, these receivers are dangerous in space, and so every time they catch one on a slant and they've got room to run, I get nervous because, man, any one of these guys have the potential to take one to the house.
Yeah, that was KJ Sykes Jr. on that reception there. Play action fake, pass out in the flat, and it's going to be down inside the 25, right on the 25.
Yeah, First Baptist showing the ability to get down the field quick. And so Grace on their heels now.
Anagnostis in the backfield for the Saints. Play action fake again. This time they get back there to him. Throws on the run. Caught.
Wow.
What a play by the Saints. The quarterback just extending that play.
And then he gets pulled out after that. I'd be petitioning on the sideline, hey, did you see what I just did right there? Leave me in the game for a minute.
Right.
But, man, he was in the grass. Grace had hands on him, able to hold off the tackler long enough to fire that ball across the middle of the field. And
I'm going to tell you this.
I don't know what that was.
This is as there's 1 second remaining in the quarter. That's the kind of play, Josh, you mentioned they had him in the grasp. In a scrimmage or anything like that, that play would have been blown dead quick.
Yeah.
And this should be, barring a penalty, the final play of the third quarter. Throwing deep to the end zone. And it is caught for a touchdown. That's KJ Sykes Jr. on the catch.
Yeah, and again, with him, it just looks so easy. There's nothing easy about the game of football, but when you have a receiver that skilled and able to get up and high point footballs like that, you can just kind of throw it up. He makes it look easy, and First Baptist now back within a score, barring this extra point.
Good snap and hold. The kick is up. And it is good. And at the end of the third quarter, it's 35-28 Cougars. So, Josh, one of the things this is going to come down to is at the start of the fourth quarter here, you're going to want to come back out and reestablish that momentum, get things back into place, go back and extend the lead again. Those are the things that the Cougars are going to be looking to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Start this fourth quarter off strong. If they're able to march down and get a score here, take a little bit of time off the clock. But we've seen First Baptist is able to score very quickly. They're able to move the ball, get chunk yardage, and so they're not going to be out of this game. Grace is going to have to knock them out.
Grace drops only BA back deep for this one, and they're going to send it back to him. High kick, taken at the 16. Here he comes to the 25, makes one juke at the 30, comes to the near sideline, splits a defender across the 40. Nice return there for BA.
And whether you kick it deep or whether you kick it short,
we're right back at the 40-some-odd yard line.
In between the 40 and 45-yard line. And it looks like now we've got more cramps happening with BA.
Offense huddled up here on the sideline. And Josh, one of the things about the size of a team like the Grace Cougars is the number of guys that have to play both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And on a night like tonight, that starts showing up.
Yeah, and that's where you start seeing those cramps really play a factor.
Etheridge is alone in the backfield. Now Porter's going to go in motion. Etheridge is looking his way on an out route, caught at the 50. And that's an all-state first down.
Yeah. And there's you can see great chemistry now between Etheridge and Porter.
Yeah, that's just a nice pitch and catch there for a 12-yard gain. So at the 46-yard line of the Saints, we are in the fourth quarter. Grace looking to go and put a score on the board that really puts pressure on First Baptist. Snap back to Etheridge. He's going to tuck it and run up the middle. Breaks a tackle at the 40 and across the 35 as he's got an all-state first down for the Cougars.
He's such a strong runner for a quarterback. He's got a big frame, and he's able to break through arm tackles like a running back, and good job picking up that first down.
Yeah, that's just solid, tough running right there as we go under 11 minutes left in this ball game. Ball is spotted right on the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Grace is going to let some clock be chewed up here. Play clock at 3. And they snap it at 1. Etheridge is back. Flag in the air. He's going to run. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. And we'll see what the flag is all about here.
Yeah. Anytime you have a flag thrown at that part of the field, as the play starts, it's usually going to be a bad sign for the offense. And legal formation, that's going to back us up to 1st and 15 now.
Yeah, you don't want to get behind the chains, but that's where they are now. So now you just got to find a way to get out. Four wide receivers in the formation for the Cougars. Shotgun snap. Etheridge looking to run up the middle. And that's going to be a very tough 3-yard gain. Etheridge comes up a little bit gimpy.
Yeah, and I just heard the PA announcer say Anagnosti with the stop, and I looked down, and there's the quarterback playing linebacker.
Anagnosti. There we go. So I was saying it wrong. My apologies to any Saints fans that are listening tonight. I do apologize. Anagnosti. Etheridge throws. Caught! Running away! Coleman Swain.
Good night.
That's a Biomax touchdown.
Was that ball tipped by the defender, and he still caught that?
Uh-oh. Flag on the play. So they're calling a false start.
Oh, man.
And I'll just say, if it is a false start, why did the play get to continue?
I don't know if it was he said number 5 and number 6, so what I'm assuming is that there was 2 receivers moving at the same time.
Etheridge back. In trouble. Spins away from one, but can't get away from the others.
And this drive is just going the wrong direction.
So that's a big loss there. It's going to bring it up to a 3rd and very long.
And you can feel the stomping in the stands through the camera.
Yes, you can. Clock is hitting 8.5 minutes left in the game. Grace needs a big conversion here, and we're going to get flags, and I believe it's delay of game. So 3rd and long just became 3rd and longer. Not a lot of plays for 3rd and 28, Josh.
No. And here's you just want to be safe with the ball.
Four wide receivers set. Etheridge takes the snap. In pressure instantly. And he's going to try to make a man miss, but he can't make him miss in the backfield. Dropped all the way back to the 39-yard line.
And 3 plays in a row, Grace goes the wrong direction.
4th and 35, 36. 4th and 36 is what that comes up to be.
So last time we had a little bit of trouble with the snap here on the punt. Let's hope for a better snap and for a good punt, and let's be wary of the guy back there who's going to be returning this punt as well.
Yeah, you really need to flip the field here. Oh, my goodness, what a punt. Taken by Foster at the 18. Across the middle of the field and runs
Good
into
job.
a couple of Cougars at the 25-yard line. Nice coverage there by Grace.
Great punt.
And, Josh, that was the speedster Micah Foster back there, so you're glad they were able to contain him.
Yeah, that's what I said as he was going back there. I saw him, and, whew, man, he showed us what he was capable of on the very first kickoff of the game. So, thankfully, able to prevent any kind of big play there on that punt. Great coverage getting downfield.
Yeah, he'll cause some nerves to swell up a little bit there and make you get nervous for a moment. Shotgun snap to Jones, quickly to Foster, and he's got room up the far sideline, all the way up near midfield. That's Foster that was on the reception and the gain there. And now it looks like Foster and Gardner over there on the stop. Foster and Gardner were both slow to get up.
Yeah, Gardner looked like he was immediately trying to stretch out his leg, and Foster's helmet came off on that tackle as he was going down at the ground. So hope he's all right. You hate to see a player falling without their helmet.
That's a big gain on first down there for the Saints. Gets them up to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and again, these receivers are just so dangerous in space. So smartly, they're just throwing these little quick screens and short passes and letting these receivers work with open field in front of them, and it's been very effective so far.
Elijah Hicks slow to get up for the Cougars. Now he's making his way toward the sideline. .656 remaining in the game. Grace is holding on to a 7-point lead. Shotgun snap. It's going to be a handoff, and he runs into Gardner. No gain.
Nothing going.
No, sir.
As Gardner just planted him behind the line of scrimmage. Great tackle that time.
2nd and 10. Got motion out of the backfield. Jones throws it out, and it's caught. First down yardage into Cougar territory. Completed to Anagnostis. So in Cougar territory now at the 48-yard line. Saints trying to have an equalizer drive here and tie this game. Grace wants to stand in the way.
Yeah, we're in need of a big stop here.
Anagnostis keeps it up the middle, gains about 2 yards.
And who else?
Gardner.
Number 33, Andrew Gardner, in to keep that play. Looks like it's going to be about a gain of 2. Looks like Vidrine was also in there. Both of those guys have just been all over the field defensively.
Grace fans making some noise over here, imploring their defense for a stop. Quick pass Incomplete. Threw it behind him.
And that's going to bring up a big third down here.
3rd and 8 as that incomplete pass stops the clock with 5:31 remaining in the game. Anyway, looking at this camera, you can just almost feel like you're here.
I know it. This home crowd bleachers over here really
what a
getting
great
into it.
atmosphere. This home side is loud right now. 3rd and 8. Here's the snap. Run up the middle.
Got
Runs
him.
into Gardner, who slows him up, and the rest of the Cougars come in to finish him off. It's going to bring up 4th down and 4, Josh.
Yeah, and they're going to go for this because they're in that gray area. And at this point of the game, down 7. They need a big play here on 4th down, and we need a big stop here on 4th down. So home crowd letting the Cougars hear about it as we get ready for a big, big play in this game.
Here we go. 4th and 4.
They're going to call timeout.
And they're going to have to burn a timeout.
It is loud over here.
That's their first timeout of the half. This is a critical moment in this game with 4:40 remaining. Grace holding on to a 7-point lead. What a job there, Josh, by these Grace Cougar fans to have an impact on that moment there, forcing First Baptist to take a timeout. They didn't approach the line of scrimmage with the intention of taking a timeout. That was forced.
Yeah, it's loud here on this side of the field, and that noise is carrying across the field, and you can see the effect that this noise is having. And as they come back to the line of scrimmage, the noise is starting to amp up again.
Yeah, this is about to happen again, without a doubt. Here they go. Fans getting to their feet. Fourth down, 4 yards needed for a first. Jones looking to pass. Caught. Just sat down right on the other side of the first down marker.
Knew exactly where to go. Ran his route right to the sticks and just was able to get down right there. And First Baptist still alive on this drive with a new set of downs.
Yeah, fresh set of downs for the Saints. 1st and 10. Clock running at 4:20 remaining in this ball game. Handoff up the middle. And he's running over people across the 25 and stretches down to the 20. And now we get a flag. We got flags and whistles and all kinds of fun stuff. Let's sort this one out.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been more than one flag.
Anagnostis down to the 20-yard line on that play. Josh, that flag on the far side over there where they're discussing it, that was thrown in the direction of two players that were tangled up with one another. And it looks like it's probably going to be an after-the-play kind of thing. So I would assume the play is going to stand.
Yeah, it looks like he's saying offsetting.
And that's exactly what it is, Josh. It's offsetting penalties
After the
play.
Play counts, and they're right here at the doorstep of the red zone.
Handoff, hurdles the line. And he's going to be brought down at the 16-yard line. Gain of 4. That's Anagnostis on the carry there. It'll bring up second down. And it looks like they only gave him 3 to the 17, so second down and 7. Jones is back, looking, throwing for the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Kind of behind him on that one. And that's going to bring up another third down here.
3:34 remaining in the ball game. Big moment here in this game. Grace fans getting on their feet and getting loud again. Here's the snap. Jones is back. Jump throw deep to the end zone.
Wow.
And it's caught for a touchdown. Lincoln Schlief.
I don't know how he got that inbounds.
And so now First Baptist an extra point away from tying this game. Snap and hold. The extra point is up, and it is good. And with 3:28 remaining in this game, we are tied at 35. We'll be back to Grace Game Day right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. Drama at Clyde Perkins Stadium on the Grace Community School upper campus. Tied at 35, 3:28 remaining in the game. Logan Joe tees it up for the Saints, ready to kick off. High kick, somewhat short, taken by BA at the 21. Dances his way across the 25 and out of bounds at about the 31-yard line.
So here we are. Tied game, 3 minutes to go, at home with the ball. A great opportunity for this Cougar offense to march down the field and win this ball game. It's been a hard-fought game, and you'd like to see this drive start with some momentum, as it feels like momentum has kind of shifted back to First Baptist here.
Yeah. One of the things that you want to really try to make sure of, Josh, is you don't want to get behind the chains on this drive. You don't want to get behind the chains and put extra pressure on your offense.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times, and when that's happened, First Baptist has just pinned their ears back. And
the ball is loose. I think Grace was able to get back on it.
Good night. And that's exactly what we just said can't happen.
Etheridge was holding the ball out in the belly of BA, and it was just there was nobody that was there. I mean, well, I'm sorry, there was everybody that was there. There was no space whatsoever.
Yeah, that play was blown up as soon as that ball was snapped, and now Grace finds themselves in a hole here in a long second down.
Just like that, they get behind the chains, which is what we had just mentioned you don't want to do. 2nd and 16. And here's the snap to Etheridge. He's back, looking near sideline, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, this offensive line is really struggling right now to hold up against this pass rush from First Baptist. And this is the second drive in a row where they're just pinning their ears back and they're giving Grace fits right now.
So it's 3rd down and 20 as the clock is approaching 2 minutes remaining in the game, and we're tied at 35. And Grace is going to take a timeout. Or excuse
Yeah.
me, the 2-minute timeout. So they said 2-minute timeout, put 2 minutes back on the game clock. Yes, sir, we sure will. 2 minutes remaining in this ball game. Josh, Grace is facing a 3rd and 20. It's not the place that you want to be. It's not the situation you want, but this is what you've got. What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. At this point in the game, on this side of the field or where you're at, you just got to be smart with the ball here. If that means running it, if that means the quarterback looking for a pass, if it's not there, just tuck it and try to get what you can and live with a punt and hope your defense can make a stop and force overtime. You just cannot put the ball in harm's way here, especially with the momentum already kind of shifted. Grace had momentum up by 2 touchdowns, and First Baptist has fought their way back, tied this game. Defensively, they've just been in the grill of the quarterback every time he stepped back to pass, and so you can't put yourself in danger here.
This is where you'd love that flood everything one way and throw a screen back the other way. To BA, back to Etheridge, caught at the 15. He's got room to the 20, 25. Gets across the 30 to the 32. So it's a nice positive gain there.
But I don't know if you go for this.
No, I don't think you go for it at all. But I tell you what I do. I run as much of that clock off as I can. I'm kind of surprised that First Baptist is not using a timeout here.
They just did. That play had so much potential.
It did. It did. Oh, man.
So here we are. A minute, 26 seconds is a lot of time in a football game.
Drama in week 2. Grace getting ready to punt the ball away, or at least that's what we would assume. Can't imagine Coach Russell rolling the dice right here and deciding to go for it. With that timeout they just used, Dallas is First Baptist is now down to 1 timeout remaining. Now, I know that play just now on 3rd down, Josh, I know it didn't result in a first down, but it did gain you 12 yards, which could make 12 yards difference in field position on this punt.
Yeah, absolutely. And
nice snap there. And a booming punt. Chases Foster all the way back, and it takes a Saints bounce, and it's going to go out at the 27-yard line. That's a nice punt by Cole Stanley.
Yeah. And this is where now you have to be disciplined. You have to know your assignment, make tackles, don't give up a big play here. At this point, you're just trying to either force a turnover or force the clock to run out and get to overtime.
So they come out in a 4 wide receiver set. Jones in at quarterback, and Agnostis is in the backfield with him. 75 seconds left in this game. Quick pass into the slot. That is caught by Schleif.
Inbounds.
And they keep him in bounds. 8-yard gain. Clock running as we hit 1 minute remaining in this ball game. 2nd and 2. Here's the snap to Jones. Another quick pass to Schleif. He's got first down yardage up near midfield. There's a flag on the play. Clock's going to stop with 47 seconds left in the game. We'll see what the flag is about. Preliminary motion, it looks like it's against Grace.
Yeah, Coach Russell does not look happy on the sideline. going to be a holding declined.
It's 47 seconds remaining. The Saints have it 1st and 10 at their own 47. Play action fake, throws over the middle, caught, makes the first man miss down the sideline, and knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
And that's just what you can't have happen is the big run after the catch. And now First Baptist is in great position to try to steal this game as the time is ticking down. I guess he was in bounds.
Up the middle, Anagnostis fighting for yardage.
Tackle him.
All the way down to the 10. And the clock stops with 22 seconds. Now it's going to run again, and that is set. Jones is back, looking, throwing over the middle.
Oh,
touchdown.
No. What happened?
Lincoln Schleif
How was he that wide open?
got wide open in the end zone.
How does that happen with 8 seconds to go?
That's tough right there. So now in for the extra point. Snaps a little bit low. They corral it. The extra point is up, and it's good. And with 8 seconds remaining, it's 42-35. Saints on top.
That's tough.
So Grace is looking for a miracle here. And it's hard to imagine what kind of play you can draw up that even if you fair catch the ball and you've got 8 seconds remaining, time for probably 2 plays, you've got 2 timeouts left. It's hard to imagine being able to move the ball 60 to 70 yards down the field the way the last 2 or 3 drives have gone for the Grace offense.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's kind of just miracle territory. Such a tough break, too. They fought so hard this entire game. And
we're going to get a timeout. First Baptist uses their final timeout. I apologize. They do have 1 timeout remaining. I'm sorry, that was their final timeout. I thought it was their final timeout, and then I heard the PA announcer say that's their second charge timeout. I thought, well, maybe I missed it somewhere. Then he said, wait, correction, that's their final timeout of the half. Okay. Grace has 2 timeouts left. First Baptist just used their final timeout.
you got to think 8 seconds is just 1 play.
The only option you've got for getting multiple plays is you're going to have to run either like a quick slant or just a quick out. It's going to have to – and you can use the middle of the field because you got the timeouts, but it's got to be quick and they've got to get down.
Yeah, with 8 seconds, it's a very dangerous –
So here's the kick, and he fumbles it, and he's going to go down. So 3 seconds run off the clock, and Josh, now you're pretty much at 1 play.
yeah, and you need about a 72-yard touchdown here.
Yep, 73.
73-yard.
5 seconds remaining. I want to thank you for joining us tonight on Grace Game Day. And Grace is going to take a timeout here. So we'll take it with them. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Grace Game Day. And the official just told them to put a second back on the clock. So now there's 6 seconds remaining.
For a second there, they had 60 seconds on the clock. And I was like, I'll take that one.
I'll take it. I like that. Here we go. Shotgun snap to Etheridge. He's back. Looking. Throws. Incomplete. 1 second remaining.
And how much do you actually practice this scenario?
Right. It's like I know in basketball, it's what we always did. Every kid that loves basketball practiced the full court, half court shot at the buzzer. But this is a tough spot to be in. 1 second remaining. And Grace is going to use their final timeout. You got to think, Josh, that there's probably got to be some level of trickery in this play, whether it's you're going with something kind of a hook and ladder, you're trying to gain the initial maybe 15 yards on the pass and then get into the lateral game. But you're going to have something, because barring just a completely busted play,
yeah,
there's not really much of a straight shot to get there from here.
No. Yeah, it's going to have to be one of those lateral. Hope to get a break in the defense.
Stranger things have happened. Etheridge is back. Throws it for Porter, and it's overthrown and incomplete. And that is going to be the ball game.
Such a tough loss. A game that they easily could have won. A game you could argue they should have won. Just unable to make the plays when they counted. And I think what happened on that last touchdown pass, when time is running down, you're expecting a spike to stop the clock or a timeout or something, and instead they ran another play and just kind of caught the defense on their heels, and Grace is going to come up on the wrong side of the loss column in a very hard-fought, very entertaining football game.
Yeah, what a game. I mean, really and truly from start to finish. And Grace showed you a lot about who they were tonight and who they are as a team. When you think about the level of the opponent that they were playing and the fact that Grace really had the game well within reach, and then it just got away from them at the end. But that shows a lot about who Grace is. They're not a slouch. They're a tough football team, and they're going to be a team that people have to reckon with.
Absolutely.
Coach Russell's got his team gathered up in the field. And you know, Josh, I know the loss is disappointing, but this is one of those games that, yeah, it's going to sting because of the way you lost. Because you really kind of walk away from this feeling like,
You should have won.
man, you should have won. But I also have to believe when you look at the caliber of team that was walking into this place tonight in First Baptist Academy, when you look at the caliber of team, if someone had said this is going to be a 7-point game at the end of the game, you'd take that because it shows the effort that goes into a game like this against an opponent like this. Hats off to the fans for showing up tonight the way they did. What a great atmosphere this was. And this just lets you know this team has what it takes to do some really special things this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's a game that was pretty much controlled for the entirety of the game going into the fourth quarter. And, you know, you hate to make excuses for how you lost, but the wear and tear of their tempo, the speed that they have on the outside, you know, there's a lot of reasons of why they came up short. But the reality is these kids fought hard. They
Yes.
were put themselves in position to win, and at the end of the day, Dallas First Baptist just made more plays down the stretch when it mattered. And on that last crucial drive with the time running down, backs against the wall, First Baptist was able to overcome the adversity, and Grace just unable to get that one stop that they needed. And that's all it takes.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. As Coach Russell continues to talk to the team and fans are filing their way toward the exit. And Josh, you know, again, I know because of the way you lose, this one stings, but when they go back and review the tape, they're going to see some points and they're going to see some things where they say, man, if we could have done this part over, we would do it differently. But at the end of the day, Josh, I think when they wrap all of this up and they finish breaking this game down, they're going to realize that they went toe-to-toe with a really, really good team, and they gave them everything they could handle.
Absolutely. And, again, the way that Grace controlled the game, the way that they put themselves in position to lead throughout the game from the opening touchdown, you know, being up 35-21 late in this game. First Baptist was able to score quickly, and their pass rush started to make an impact late.
Yes.
And the offensive line got worn down, and that front for Dallas First Baptist just began to impose their will. The running game wasn't working. The quarterback had no time to throw, and that was really the difference in the game because Grace had control, and all they had to do was score one touchdown. And we did score that touchdown. It got called back on a penalty. That would have been the difference of the game. One play here, one play there. Against this caliber of a team, you got to hold your head up high knowing that we belong on this field with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, what a game it was. And now we have to regroup, get ready for next week.
Yep.
So we'll be looking forward to it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Grace Game Day tonight. Thank you for making us part of your evening. And it was our pleasure to bring you all of the action tonight from Clyde Perkins Field on the Grace Community Upper Campus. Grace falls to Dallas First Baptist Academy, 42-35. And until next time, so long, everybody.